This is what we're gonna do. You deposit your money in a bank, right? Your bank, that bank takes that money and buys assets and collects interest off it. So your money is essentially working for them. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find that bank, you're gonna Google it or go to Wikipedia and pick up whatever bank name, you're gonna look for their ticker symbol. Now the ticker symbol is, let's say, a company's nickname on the stock market, right? It's their nickname, it's 3-4 letter, but Wikipedia or Google will give you that. So you go to that bank, you find out how many shares, what's the ticker symbol for this bank, you go on the stock market, you find how much the shares cost, you start buying shares of that business. And I'll walk y'all through that process on how to do that later on in another video. But right now we're gonna do is, so we're gonna buy some shares of this bank. As the bank buys more assets and it becomes more valuable, it adds value to itself, other investors will feel like that bank is a great asset for them, right? So they buy the bank stock price, the bank stock price goes up. Because you've bought shares of this bank, so does your stocks. As your shares go up, your equity increases. What is the equity? The equity is the ownership that you own in the bank. Try it with me. Now, what we're gonna do now is, we're gonna sit back and we're gonna keep buying shares of this bank, right? Over time, as the bank acquires more assets, as more people pay late fees, as more people run their credit cards up and all that, the bank's value goes up because they are increasing in assets, in equity, in interest, right? They got people on foreclosed on their homes. They got that, they selling it again for a higher price, right? Now, what happens is, as the bank increases its value, as the dividend goes up, as the stock price goes up, the bank keeps performing well, now they're paying you dividends. So the dividends is like the bank actually saying, thank you for investing in us, right? They're thanking you for investing in them, so they're giving you something every quarter, right? So as they keep adding value to themselves, what happens is they're going to add value to you as an investor by increasing those dividend payments. So let's walk through this process right here. So let's say the bank that you're investing in, the stock price is $44.32. So that means for each share of that business, it's going to cost you $44.32 for one piece of ownership. They're going to pay you a dividend of 35 cents per share every quarter. We know they got 4 quarters in a year, right? And they got 4 quarters in what's called the fiscal year. So every 3 months, which is a quarter, they'll pay you 35 cents for one share. So if you had one share in that year, you'll get $1.40. Y'all rocking with me? So here's what we do. We figured out that if we had 128 shares at 35 cents a share, in 1 year the bank would pay us $44.80. Now the stock price is $44.32. So that means if we had 128 shares, then the bank would buy us 1 share of itself every year. Y'all with me on that? All right, let me back that up for y'all. So the stock price is $44. They're giving you 35 cents for each share or stock of the business that you own. So that means in 1 year, if you had 1 share, the bank will pay you $1.40. Listen, it might don't seem like a lot, but you got to build a wealth brick by brick. You can't build it all at one time. So we figured out that if we had 128 shares at 35 cents a share per quarter, a dividend, in 1 year they'll pay us $44.80, right? That's enough to buy us 1 share of the business in a year. So we had 256 shares, then that'd be $89.60. So that means in 1 12-month year, that bank will buy us 2 more shares of itself with the dividends that it's paying us. So now at that point, you haven't coughed up a dime more, and in 1 year, the bank has bought you 2 more shares of itself. That's the idea of your money working for you. At this point now, you sitting back and relaxing. So now we figured this out. So if you needed the bank to buy you 3 shares, 4 shares, whatever that is, the bank is now buying that for you. But that's only one part of the trap house. The second part is, As the bank increases its value, the stock price goes up, the dividend goes up. So we know that that may equal being 3 shares a year. But this is what we do. We've been working on our credit. And so now what happens is we go get some credit from the bank, either personal or business, and we get a credit card for $10,000 or $20,000. So now what happens is this. See, now we tapping into something real deep. At this point, all the money we deposited into the bank, we know the bank has used that and we not getting nothing back in return for that. We know that they're using our money to do all kind of stuff, get credit on stuff, because banks do get credit. They're getting credit on stuff. They're getting houses. They're buying stock on the stock market. They're buying businesses. They're doing all of this, but we get nothing for it, and they're using our money. So this is how we flip the script. Not only do we buy stock in the business, so now we actually own the bank, literally. The bank is also paying us dividends that are now buying us more shares in the bank. So we tapping in, and now we go get a credit card from the bank for $10,000, $20,000. This is free cash. This is free cash because the bank is using credit. So now the bank has given us ownership and they've given us credit, $10,000, $20,000. Then we get us a line of credit for another $20,000, another $10,000. And you know what we do with this money? We buy more assets from the bank. Bank got foreclosures, all that. We can use these to get assets from the bank. Now it's a reciprocal relationship. We use it, they using our money, we using their money. It's all good. We win. Here goes some notes for you. As long as you reinvest the dividends, they are not taxed. So one of the things we need to learn is this. I don't care how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep to build wealth. So if we reinvest in these dividends and they're not taxed, we were keeping 100% of our money. And the money is reinvesting itself in the form of dividends that's buying more shares. So this is what happened. This is a domino effect. Stock price increases equals wealth. Dividends increase, we buy more shares of the bank, that equals wealth. At this point, we've multiplied our wealth and now we've turned the bank into a trap house. Trap with me.